Hello and welcome back again to another video by Apps Associates, focusing on the public sector. My name is Kyle, the director here for EPM. I've got our industry expert, Dan, with us as well. And today we're going to be talking about capital. So Dan, welcome. Let's ask the first question, which is, hey, so tell me what you're seeing in the organizations in the public sector, some of the issues that they're facing, especially around capital.
Well, many public sector entities manage major infrastructure operations such as water agencies, sanitary districts, municipal physical infrastructure. So these enterprises oversee the spend of very large capital budgets and the execution of many capital projects. Right. The planning and reporting of these are all part of a capital improvement plan, or CIP. Mm-hmm. And the CIP determines what projects will be funded, provides a basis for establishing rates and rate cases, dictates funding and financing needs over an extended period, typically 5 to 10 years and potentially 20 years or more.
Yeah, no, these are huge budgets that we see on a basis, and it's a big driver of the conversation. But what makes that challenging for the organization?
Well, first off, there's a lot of information required to manage a CIP. For any given project, you've got the concept of the lifetime spend amount, which is typically projected over multiple years, categorized into phases like planning, design, and construction. For active projects, there's information that you need to collect about actual spend, and that's usually at a more granular level, like by expenditure type, labor, consulting, or contractors, and by month. So capital improvement plans become subject to formal review and approvals. So changes have to be tracked and approved. And spend amounts for the current fiscal year are actually part of board-approved budgets. So changes to those are very strictly controlled. And you have issues like unspent monies from approved budgets that are usually subject to a carry-forward process to keep them available past year end. And then in addition, tracking forecasts and actual spend and CIP programs, there's the need to be able to prioritize projects and make decisions to fund them and approve them for active spend.
Yeah, no, the volume and detail of these is huge. Quick question for you on this one. So how does EPM help organize that for the group to be able to track and deal with the details and changing dates and et cetera? So talk to me through that.
Yeah. So there are probably two main ways. The first is as an application for managing the planning of the projects and the spend. And then secondly, as a tool for producing the reporting that's needed on the CIP. So within the Oracle EPM suite, Oracle EPM planning is one of the core business processes, and it's a multidimensional database that can collect and manage large amounts of data and make that readily available. And it becomes a central aggregation point for all the project information. In planning, you can also create some very sophisticated reporting and dashboards. For organizations that want to create a more formal CIP report for publishing and involve more people in the process, the Oracle EPM narrative reporting business process can also be beneficial, as it can not only manage the construction and generation of the reporting, but also manage that collaborative process through workflow with authors and reviewers.
So when you're working with a company on this, how does it change the process? How do they need to adopt it? Walk me through, what does that look like?
Yeah, well, so today in many organizations, the CIP is maintained in spreadsheets and by a few individuals. With a central repository for the project information, it becomes practical to distribute access to the CIP information and responsibility for its maintenance. So several internal processes can share this same platform. So your long-range CIP planning, your next year CIP budgeting, your current year CIP budget management, and your lifetime CIP spending. So the processes become better integrated when they share the data, and the management of that data is supported by rules and calculations that can automate activities like allocating contingency funding to an active project or carrying forward unspent approved budget from the prior year. So many of these are available for standardized and ad hoc reporting.
So it sounds like you can save a lot of time and effort on this one. I'm here, that's what I hear you saying, but I also hear that there's a lot of visibility that can be gained by having a central repository for this, for being able to see what's really happening with your projects, being able to report off that, have variance analysis, be able to plan, adjust. Having all that organization not only gives you that central repository, but also helps improve your productivity of the organization.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, it's less time and effort, faster turnaround, and ultimately significantly greater transparency on a very substantial capital spend budget.
No, absolutely. Well, I think that wraps up this topic. Thank you all for joining us. Please join us again. Dan, thanks for your insights into the industry as well as the process. So thank you. See you on the next one.